thanks to Protector of Jam for helping me with, we've got some new music, because I felt like the soundtrack that we normally use doesn't really work for this particular scenario, but I'm still going to use some of the classic, like, intermissions and stuff.
Nice.
So, yep, we ready?
Ready?
Let's give it like 10 minutes for people to show up to the stream before we start the actual game, if that's okay.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yep. So for everybody who doesn't know, maybe in the stream, we are playing the Alien RPG. It was released by Free League in, I think, either it was released in either 2019 or late 2018. It takes place in the Alien universe. It mostly bases itself on the events of the original trilogy, i.e. 1 through 3, Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, and then the prequel films, Prometheus and Alien Covenant. It's a really, really good game. It's fast-paced, it's tense, it's good for if you want to basically create your own little alien movie. It provides great tools for that. It provides tools for roleplay, and people die a lot. It's not like D&D where you're gonna have, characters that last like, months and months. Characters, they just get ripped through like toilet paper. So
Don't get attached.
yeah, don't get too attached, but it means that you have to kind of play your character in a different way. You have to think of it as like, like you're not putting yourself into your character, you're trying to bring that character to life. And so it might be that like you as a player know like, oh, this action would be really dumb because I know like I have outside knowledge of what's going on, but your character doesn't, and it makes for a better story that your player, say, checks out that strange rattling noise in the vent, or
Right.
something like that. Because
Just try not to meta.
yeah,
Gotcha.
meta, especially with like horror games, But that said, I also don't want you to be deliberately stupid. Like, your characters are all gonna have some level of common sense, because, they're not. It's not fun to play with characters who are just pure, idiots, because then it's like you're gonna spend more of the time like face palming at their decisions rather than kind of caring about them.
Right.
And that's what, to me, separates a good horror movie from a bad horror movie, is where, the characters did what they could, and they weren't thrown into the situation because they were stupid, even if they made mistakes. If they're like, if it's clever writing, you kind of have this back and forth of, who's winning, who's not.
Right.
But, yeah, I've been working on this campaign for a while. I started work on it, like, earlier this year, but I just ran into a creative writer's block, and so I had to kind of just kind of put it on the shelf. But then early in August, I kind of was like, I really want to pick this back up, and so that's kind of what I've done. And with Protector of Jam especially, he's carried a lot of this narratively. It would not have been possible to do without him. We've really made something that I think you guys are going to enjoy. It's gonna be. Did any of you guys play some of those 90s PC point and click games?
Watch
Like
some.
Myst, or like that Titanic one, Voyage Out of Time. Like, basically, there's gonna be a lot of investigative work in this. You're kind of you're gonna be trying to take clues, piece them together. Those are gonna lead you to, other clues, and then, that's kind of the basis of this. You're not like, Marines going in there to, liberate the whatever. That's a whole nother thing. But I mean, I can do it now with the Colonial Marines operational manual, but that's a lot more preparation. I'll do that later if anybody wants to do like a long like a long-term or D&D like campaign where you actually level up your characters, but that's a whole nother story.
Okay.
But yeah, this campaign has been in the works for a little while. It's been basically, it all sparked from this idea where I was just thinking about like all the cool things that you could do, like tourist wise, in space, like just taking advantage of how, you know, like physics works differently. Robo, were you gonna say something? It looked like you were.
I think my mic picked my keyboard up. I was typing out my character's name on the in the options
okay.
on the display name, so it wouldn't show my actual real life name.
Oh yeah, fair. Yeah. By the way, thanks to Javier, one of the graduate students I worked with at KU, for lending me his profile picture for Esteban Cardoso.
That's awesome.
Yep, that's a real scientist.
That's fucking awesome.
Yep,
Nice.
that's Javier. He's a brilliant herpetologist and a good friend.
Javier's a G.
Yep, he's a good guy.
I'll try to do him justice.
Hell yeah, don't get him killed. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll admit, I would kind of feel bad if he just like got horribly murdered, but I mean,
oh man,
if it was a really good scene, I feel like I could at least let him be like, hey, you know, your character was like the highlight of the whole thing. But
yeah,
for so this stuff is gonna be fun. The idea was inspired, like I said, by kind of this idea of space tourism and doing these things that take advantage of how, you know, different things are in different planets. Like, for example, you could literally have like a trebuchet launch a like a Ferris wheel car type thing on a comet, and because the gravity is so low, all you need to do is kind of give it a push, and then you're literally orbiting this comet as it's like hurtling through the system at, you know, 1,000,000 miles an hour.
that would be fucking cool.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was thinking about like stuff like that, or, you know, like on an icy moon far out in the solar system where there's like those geysers that shoot super fine powder. Imagine skiing on that.
Snowboarding on fucking giant geysers that shoot you like into space, essentially.
Yeah, and where like because the gravity is so low, your gravity falling, you could fall 100 meters, so like 330 feet, and not injure yourself.
Yeah.
So imagine the fucking half pipes or jumps that you could do on something like that.
That'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah, and so all of this,
the fucking like, space gnar.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. I was like, how can I incorporate this into a cool campaign?
Have you guys ever gotten space pitted before? Because we're about to.
Yes, for the next Olympics, dude. Yep, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Awesome.
But yeah, the trouble was kind of coming up with enough different like kind of planets and cool activities to do that you couldn't just do somewhere on Earth. But I think I did. I'm not gonna give away all of them, but because, you know, I want to keep you guys surprised.
Yeah, right.
And obviously, nothing is gonna go wrong. Like, this is just gonna be a fun, relaxing cruise with no unexpected events whatsoever.
I've been on cruises before. I know how they go. They're pretty chill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's gonna be a fun, relaxing trip with no complications.
Should we introduce ourselves?
Oh, yeah. I wasn't sure if you were ready yet. First,
yeah, I'll flip to the live screen.
Okay.
Now you can see our characters and the Amber Theater.
Yep.
I'll zoom out a little bit.
Yep, I'll just read the what's the story.
Okay.
So, you player characters are passengers or crew on the Galaxy, a deluxe spacefaring cruise liner taking a 2-week journey from the core to the outer rim of the beautiful 67 Epsilon Capricorni system. The ship's itinerary includes multiple opportunities for shore leave along the way, each at a different location within the system, and each offering unique activities unavailable elsewhere in colonized space. For the crew, This is just another routine cruise through one of several systems the galaxy is known to take. It's a job that offers decent pay, though dealing with the passengers can be somewhat taxing. Still, the managers let you take time off occasionally and use some of the luxury services, so it isn't all bad. Get ready for a joy-filled vacation and thrills aplenty as we cruise through the heavens. Now, we can introduce our characters. Who wants to go first?
We can just go left from right, I guess.
Yep, might as well.
All right. I'm Robo-Bike. I'm playing Jack Sutton. I'm a 32-year-old colonial marshal. And I'm really into Sherlock Holmes and like trying to figure out mysteries and stuff. Should I just read the bio, I guess? I could just read that. Okay. I'll read it in character. Ever since I was a boy, reading old copies of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's famous Sherlock Holmes, I dreamed of following the path of a detective. Using my wits and cunning to identify clues others had glossed over to solve crimes struck a chord with me at an early age. And I've retained that fire in my heart ever since. At age 18, I became a colonial marshal, and this meant keeping orders in areas where many would happily break the laws for their own personal gain. I trained myself to read people and environments, picking out anything that didn't quite fit, and using that to track down criminals who thought they could get past me. However, there was one case in my career that I was never able to solve. It involved multiple missing persons and several clues pointing towards a cult-like motive, but I was never able to track down or identify the subjects. This caused me to turn to liquor, eventually costing both my job and my marriage. Now I'm an alcoholic, down on my luck, looking for any opportunity to regain that lost glory and prove that I still have what it takes.
Very nice. I like the gritty voice. It kind of sounds like someone from Morrowind.
Nice.
Yep. Okay. Chris, the cheeseburger Chris.
Yep, I'm Cheeseburger Apocalypse or Cheese or Chris or whatever. And I'm playing Gigi or Gina, the pop star. And I wanted to do a Valley Girl voice for her, but I can't do that anymore.
Okay, we'll edit it. We'll get it in post.
So no, I might try to throw it in at some point.
We'll get it in post.
Be ready for that.
But I'm 26 years old. I'm incredibly wealthy, and I learned how to sing from professional tutors. And eventually I made it big, booking performances across the United American Colonies as Gigi. And I have a reputation for demanding the best out of anyone who associates with me. And I'm not going to hesitate to choose someone out if they don't meet my expectations.
Nice.
And my albums include Brave Little Firework, Planet Cracker, Hypernova Love, Mistress of the Cosmos, Stardust, and Space Station Karaoke.
Nice. Those were all Protector of Jam came up with those. So
those are your song titles. Those are your hits.
Those were the albums.
The albums. Okay.
Yep. Okay, so Esteban, you're next.
Okay. This good volume for me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. My name is Esteban Corozo. I have always been fascinated by biology, even at the youngest of ages. This was especially true when I learned about the possibility of life having evolved independently from Earth. I have devoted myself to the study of exobiology and became a leading expert in the field. I've been hired on many prospective colonization missions to assess any flora or fauna lest it be hazardous to human health. This has led to well over a dozen publications of extrasolar ecosystems and their inhabitants, and several awards. I've been approached by Wayland Yutani, even, to act as an exclusive exobiologist under contract for them. But having looked at the fine print of the contract and knowing their reputation, I politely declined. There is an exobiology conference taking place on the galaxy, and I am one of the many Society of Exobiologists in attendance. There are always interesting talks and posters presented at these meetings.
I basically did that to remind myself to start preparing my poster for SVP in November. So, yeah. Okay,
Nice.
Psycho Fox, you're
Sweet.
next.
So I'm FICO, or the other Chris,
Yeah.
The other Chris.
and I am playing Thomas Rubio. I'm 23 years old. I grew up in the slums of the United Americas, with my parents working as corporate wage slaves. I was able to get a good job working on the I can't remember the ship's name. It's terrible.
Yeah, you were an inspector for the Interstellar Commerce Commission.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, and he's been generally inspecting various commercial starships, such as the cruise liners owned by the Milky Way Cruise Company.
Oh,
Right.
Milky Way.
Yep.
Yeah, the pay of the inspector job is much better than anything that I could have made back on Earth. And I finally have been able to make enough money to send some back to my family on Earth, which I try and keep in touch with every once in a while. And I definitely feel that all of my training has prepared me for anything that can be thrown my way.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I wouldn't worry about it. Last but not least, we've got Stephanie Wilson.
Yes, that's me. I go by Colin or Coblin, whichever you prefer. Doesn't really matter. Yep, I'm playing Stephanie Wilson. I'm 30 years old, and after several years of slogging my way through my community college's business course, I decided that manipulating people into giving me money wasn't really my calling. Instead, I decided to pursue a career in helping people. I joined a prestigious medical school and dedicated the rest of my 20s to earning my nurse practitioner's license. However, after many months of residency, I grew bored with the same beige walls and gravel pathways. Rather than completing my final year of study, I left to aid several humanitarian crises. Seeing the extent of human suffering at the hands of man and beast, my resume reached the Milky Way Cruise Line's main office, as their newest addition to the fleet needed medical staff to accompany its journey across the stars. Figuring it was a new way to help people and a new frontier to explore, I signed up right away. Much to my dismay, however, I was tasked with sobering up belligerent guests in a small, windowless, beige room, much like the one that I sought to escape from. I still hold out hope that my thirst for adventure can be satiated one day. My prestigious study and necessary life training have given me the ability to work effectively on sterile operating bed as well as a muddy pallet in the jungle.
And that concludes the introduction of our characters. I'm sure nothing bad is going to happen. So, yeah. So, if we're ready, basically, the way this is going to work is a sort of, you guys have all arrived at guest security. So, if you guys could put your characters there, just drag, and you'll have a token that will pop up. So, yep. Because the way we're going to do this, once everybody's got there, we're still waiting on, let's see, Esteban and Tomas.
I will figure it out.
If you just yeah,
if you
should
go
be able
to the tab that looks like a newspaper and it'll show you
Yeah.
your PC character, you can like click the name and then drag that name onto the
Oh, yeah.
onto the page.
Oh my god. There's two
Yeah,
of them.
you accidentally cloned yourself. There you go.
Oh no!
Among Us.
This is
That-
getting out of
that's-
hand. Now there are two of them.
I'm on the page, but I don't see security.
Oh, it's let's see.
You
Yeah,
see our
it's
pings?
Yeah. Yep.
Are you
Yeah.
on the right page? Maybe I think you should.
Everybody should be on the page. Deck 5. If you zoom out, then it'll be easier to see.
We're real small, but yeah,
It's right above the boleros.
which
Yeah.
is right above Sorrentos.
Let's see.
Yep.
I see.
Ooh, we got a Michael
Excelsior
Kors.
Theater
We
and
do
the
have a
Cosmo
Michael Kors.
Yep. I didn't bother changing the names because I was too lazy.
They sell shoes, right? Is that what Michael Kors sells?
Yep. And by the way, you guys all have yep, you guys all have spending money, so you'll be able to
Oh,
you know,
sick.
Yep. Yeah, if you look in your
Oh,
inventory,
yeah.
you'll,
Hell yeah.
I think I'm on
okay.
the wrong floor here.
let me see.
Uh-oh.
That's weird because let me. There we go. You should be on the
Okay.
right floor.
There I am.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I just had to
Weird.
reset it. Okay. Yeah, just drag and place your character there.
There he
There we go.
is.
Okay, so you have all come here under different circumstances, and so now we're going to rewind the clock a little bit to the very beginning. We're going to start with Jack, and we're going to be switching through players, basically acting through the way that you got here. So, let's start with Jack.
Okay.
After several hours of sobriety, this is about maybe 2 shifts before, so we've rewinded about 16 hours. After several hours of sobriety, you'll feel yourself start to crack up with frustration. Fortunately, according to the pamphlet you read, all Milky Way cruise ships boast a fully stocked bar on each accessible deck. So right now you are at the individual guest entrance on this deck. So
Oh, down here?
all yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Traversing through the narrow passenger umbilical, you feel less than a guest and more like a parasite burrowing your way into a fat, dying whale. The only light sources are the blinking floor lights in the shape of arrows, guiding you further down the flexible hallway. The shallow echoes of your footsteps remind you of just how isolated you really are. No one behind and no one guiding you, just a thin layer of plasteel between you and the entirety of space. Part of you wonders what would happen if the pressure sealant decided to fail. Would it hurt? Would it be quick? Would it be a fitting end? Before you're able to use your imagination for too long, the guide lights end at a wall. The words individual guest entrance and a glossy illustration of the Milky Way Cruise Line's logo, all of which are dimly illuminated by the blinking guide lights. With a mellow buzzard and a rush of dust-scented air, the wall begins to lift. Surprisingly easy light envelops you. You're momentarily blinded, so you have to rely on your other senses. First, you notice the temperature. The stale chill of the passenger umbilical is gone, replaced by fresh, comfortable air-conditioned oxygen. Which leads to your next sense, smell. A faint sense of floor cleaner and artificial plants fill your lungs. It finds itself welcome there. And finally, your ears are up to bat. The muted din of light crowds and last century lounge music, which I will now start playing. 1 second. Whoops.
Ooh, nice. Yeah.
Take over from the whirring of oxygen pumps and infants crying you had grown accustomed to at the check-in station. Before long, your sight returns. You've arrived in a small, well-lit room. The floor is a colorful laminate tile mural of a solar system. There's a glass door on your right with the words "Push" engraved on the handle. A well-dressed young lady stands behind a fiberglass desk. A terminal and potted plant rest on top of it. The woman is dressed in a light blue and white uniform with a matching pillbox hat. Her pinned hair and tired smile tips you off to her reason for being here. She's a guest reader. She politely bows before you. Welcome aboard, Mr. Sutton. Here's your meal pass and your room keys. Deck 7, room 441. As requested, your luggage is being brought to your room. Would you like an event program?
I need a drink.
She looks slightly relieved and nods. Please, enjoy your stay with us. Pushing open the glass door, you can finally get a scale of just how massive this ship truly is. The lounge music now echoes throughout the high-rising walls. The ground floor is carpeted in Art Deco. Several exotic trees are planted into the floor, surrounded by decorative bricks. A ring of stores, restaurants, and entertainment areas line the entirety of the ground floor, sparsely separated by elevators, restrooms, and staff doors. You can see people leaning on a balcony railing 1 story above you, and the tips of more stores. The ceiling is painted in a constellation guide from the view of Mars. The once muted sounds of families and large groups of guests is now on full display. The sound of a wailing brat snaps you out of your temporary bliss, and in its place is your desire to find a bar. In front of you is a digital deck map. It's scrolling through curves and special events available on this deck. Magma surfing classes are being held in Planetside Orientation Room 3B. Evening childcare sign-up is in front of Space Cadets Cheeseburgers. Gigi Fan Club pre-show meetup at Nebula Ramen. A man clothed in a black button-up shirt and dress pants is standing to the left of the map. He's trying to hand something to the other passengers when they approach the map. You can see a bar by the name of Blazes on the map, but you're too far away to see its room number. Do you approach?
Yeah, I'll approach.
As you get closer to the map, the man calls out to you. Excuse me, sir. You seem lost. Are you here for guidance?
I'm here for a drink.
Dulling your pain with substances, I understand it all too well. It was before I discovered something else to soothe my agony. The one true way to cease all worldly pains and sufferings. To become a part of something greater than yourself. And the only true way to attain that is through the Church of Immaculate Incubation. Please, sir, for your own sake, take this literature. It may change your life and better others. He hands you a book.
A book?
Put in your put it in your inventory.
Jeez, okay.
Put in your inventory, Space Beast.
In my gear?
Yep, in your it should be in your inventory.
Space
said
beasts.
He said you need Space Jesus.
Yeah, he does. He totally said I need space god. All right.
The man smiles at you, then returns to accosting other passengers. The bar you were looking for is still on the screen. It's directly 1 floor above you.
Gotta go upstairs. Better find the
Okay.
elevator.
Yep. So that's exactly what you do. You go up to the Blazes bar. Now,
Yeah, I'll just
yep.
slide myself in there.
Yep. As you are walking through the ocean of bodies, you see a life preserver, that being the neon sign for Blazes. I'm going to take us all there because it's easier that way. Should be... Where is it? Let me double check that I have it on the right deck. Unless it is... Let me double check that.
Blazes was on that first floor.
Oh yeah, whoops, my bad. Yeah, so
You're
it
good.
actually is on the... Yep, so same floor, so just... Yep, so on your way there, you see Life Preserver, that being the neon sign for Blazes. Just a few dozen people and a spiral staircase separate you. Getting closer, you see a large wall-length aquarium. Several exotic fish swim around. As you continue, a large group of children walk in front of you, all holding hands, led by a middle-aged woman. As they walk by, you see a young girl break away from the group and walk over to the aquarium. You're right next to the staircase. So, do you approach her?
Wait, I saw a woman in what? Next to the staircase?
There was a woman leading a small group of children, and one of the children breaks away.
Am I close enough to, like, grab the kid and make sure he doesn't, like, run off on his own and be like, hey, make sure you
can,
stick with your mom or something like that?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. Hey, kid, what are you doing? What are you doing running around in here? It's dangerous. You might get lost. Why don't you stick with your mom?
Oh, hi, mister. Do you like sharks? She's looking at a little bamboo shark in the tank.
I'm more of a shrimp fan.
Miss Kelly's real mean. She doesn't like sharks. She promised me that we'd go see the sharks, but she broke her promise.
Now, Miss Kelly, you're supposed to keep your promises. What are we gonna do about this?
She's already, Miss Kelly and the other girls by this point have actually started taking the stairs.
Oh man, they're just walking away from this kid. It's like, are you gonna just leave this kid here? Is this kid not yours?
Over the din of the crowd, she doesn't seem to hear you.
I said, all right, kid. Hold my hand, come with me. And I start following the lady.
Yep. She says, I don't want to go look at stars.
It's
And,
all right.
Yep.
We'll get Miss Kelly and we'll go see the sharks.
Yep, so you can take her to the Stargazer Lounge. I'm not going to bother taking us there because we're going to be coming back here anyway.
Okay.
So, yep, you see the woman who had ignored this girl talking with a security guard. She looks slightly panicked.
Okay, I approach.
She sees you, and then she sees the girl, and you see just relief, just fill her entire body, and she's like, "Darling, Ashley, it's so good. I thought we lost you. Don't ever split up like that again. Like, this ship is huge. Who knows if we'd ever be able to find you again? That's dangerous."
You gotta keep an eye on your kids, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm so sorry we've inconvenienced you so.
No, you're all right.
Yep. Do you want to head back to the bar, or?
Yeah, I'll say, ma'am, you be careful on this cruise. I mean, I know it's that everybody's here for a good time, but this is a big ship. You have a good day. And I assume I'm wearing a hat because I'm myself always wear a hat. So I just tip my hat and I turn around and start walking back to the bar.
Yep. And as you're leaving, you notice that a man is explaining the constellations to the kids. And as you're leaving, you hear him talk about the meaning of the stars. He says, "We are all made of the stars, and we all have a larger purpose." So now you see a wide variety, now that you're back at Blazes, you see a wide variety of high-end liquors stored on a vertical bar shelf. The light shifting behind the bottles give the illusion of smoldering coals. You see a staff door on the back wall. The bartender is serving drinks to a chatting couple. The rest of the booths are empty, so you have your choice of seating.
Is there like a place to sit that kind of like looks out over this like main area?
Yeah,
So I'd
I'll
like to
say-
sit there. I like to sit in this corner by myself,
Okay.
looking out.
Okay, so now we are going to switch over to Esteban.
Esteban reporting.
Bring yourself over to the individual deck entrance.
Okay, individual.
It's right here.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Yep. And just so you guys know, all of that initial stuff that Jack got, like, up to the greeting lady, that's all the same for all of you. Like, you all get the generally same experience. Anyways, you enter the umbilical, and as you get shipside, you realize that this feels more like a giant hotel than a mobile vessel. You head to the front desk where a young lady is greeting passengers. You walk up to her and show your ticket. "Hello, Dr. Cardoso. We're glad to have you joining us. Your room is on deck 3, number 811. Enjoy your stay," she says, handing you your keys. You take a look at your copy of the conference schedule. Your poster session is scheduled for this afternoon at 4 p.m. Also circled is a workshop that caught your interest, spearheaded by a researcher who was in the same PhD program as you. The title of the workshop is Space Beast, a hoax or evidence of an unidentified xenological organism. The workshop is hosted at 8 p.m. and lists food and drink as complimentary. So you go to your room to drop off your luggage, but now you have a few hours to kill. You know there are other talks and poster sessions today that you might attend, but you could also explore the ship, see what recreational activities you might be able to do. So, what do you want to do? Do you want to go to the poster session or just do something else?
I'm very excited to speak with my fellow scientists about
Okay.
exobiology and
So,
all the various planets we might pass by.
okay, so we are going to head over to Deck 3, where the conference center is. So, you go into the conference room, and you see a great deal of posters, each with a scientist or graduate student presenting their research. In particular, this session contains systematics and phylogeny-related research. You see a poster titled Phylogenetics of Life Forms Endemic to LV-KR115. Another is called Phylogeny Shows Potential Anthropogenic Influence on Multi-Planet Range of Harvesters, Xenomammalia Species. One of the talks presented this session is Morphology or Molecular Data. How do we construct phylogenies for organisms that don't use DNA? So, do you want to go to the talk, or do you want to just browse around the posters?
I think I'll go to the talk.
Okay, so it's going to be 15 minutes. You go to one of the talk rooms, and you have a scientist who is basically talking about the problems of trying to use molecular data, which is entirely based on gene sequences, when the organisms you're trying to look at don't even use DNA. They use some other informational molecule, and how you basically have to come up with entirely new extraction and sequencing methods to work around that issue, and whether it's better to just use morphological characters instead, and kind of the advantages and disadvantages to both, and their proposed kind of solution to this problem. So that takes about 15 minutes, and the poster session is still going on for another 90 minutes or so.
Okay, once the talk is over, I'm gonna peruse the posters.
Okay, yeah, so you see a bunch of interesting posters about the relationships of various exobiological organisms, animals, plants, even bacteria, and even viruses. There's a few that are talking about the new plague and how quickly or what genes are responsible for it being as deadly as it was. There are a few that are looking at the commonalities in adaptations towards a subterranean existence on worlds that have very dangerous surfaces. And a lot of the scientists are kind of just chatting about kind of the latest updates and news.
Okay.
Do you want to talk to anybody, or do you just want to kind of browse the...
I would like to talk to the ones concerning plant life especially.
Okay, so you find someone who is looking at the phylogeny of the various grasses on the planet Zagreus, and they found that despite being incredibly different, like physically, and having completely different ways of living, all of these grasses are incredibly closely related, to the point where they're almost just separate versions of the same species. Almost like how soldier ants and worker ants are both the same species, even though they look very different.
Fascinating. So
Yeah.
you think they are related?
I think they are.
Evolutionarily.
I think they are the same species. They're just different like the entire grassland itself is like a superorganism. You've got these different kind of castes taking up different types of resources in order to basically be able to take in anything and make it into more biomass. But unfortunately, due to the sudden problems with Zagreus, the disappearances, and the quarantine, we can't really get any more specimens. So I just had to present what I have right now. But I'm sure you know about that.
There was disappearances on this planet?
I mean, the whole colony went completely dark. There's reports of, some sort of invasive pathogen of some sort, but I don't really know any of the details. It's all super hush-hush classified stuff. They even sent in the colonial marines. So there's no chance in getting any specimens out of there for, I don't know, a decade. I'm gonna have to completely reorganize my research.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's fascinating, but a real shame. I just hope the grasslands are still there, and whatever it is hasn't burned them clean off the face of the planet.
That would be a shame.
Yeah. So, yeah, you continue mingling and talking about, various exobiology type stuff with other folks. And now we are going to switch to Stephanie. Give me a second. Let me swap to deck 5. So, rather than being in, not deck 5, I think it's actually deck 6. Is it? Yeah, deck 6. You're in the infirmary.
Okay.
So, let me, I'll just put your, I'll put your tag there, or your token.
Oh, okay.
Yep, there we go. So, you've made sure that everything in the infirmary is neatly organized and clear, as the first wave of inpatients usually surges after the first evening. After several years and dozens of cruises, you know the routine. Passengers embark, ready to forget the troubles of everyday life and experience travel through space and luxury, which means going out and drinking themselves into a stupor. Vomit buckets and various medications to combat alcohol poisoning are present in extreme quantities, as that is by far the most common ailment suffered by cruise guests. You've also got EpiPens on standby. You never stop being surprised at the number of idiots who gobble things down without asking about ingredients they are deathly allergic to. Occasionally, someone will need a wound dressed as they fell down and hurt themselves or scrape themselves in some way, but you've never seen anything life-threatening. Still, you are glad to have the recently installed Pauling med pods, as you never know when something disastrous could happen. The autodoc also helps you save time in diagnosis and treatment. Much of your job is to keep patients calm and occasionally restrain the more belligerent ones. In pensive thought, you don't even notice your supervisor entering the room. He greets you and you jump. He laughs lightheartedly. Steph, you really need to learn how to relax. Passenger boarding is going to last another several hours at least, he says. Look, I know that with our responsibilities, we really don't get to take time off during the cruise. But we don't even set off till evening. Why don't you go enjoy yourself for a bit? I don't want you to be all tense when we start dealing with a bunch of drunken jackasses, he tells you with a smirk. So, what do you want to do?
At first I'm gonna jump and then say, you really need to let me know, knock first when you're gonna come in like that. I get jumpy.
I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking, but really, you need to calm down. I think some time off will do you some good. Why don't you take a couple hours and enjoy the luxuries we have here while you can,
I think you're right. I think I'm done with cleaning up some puke buckets. I'm gonna nod and walk out, and I guess what are my options?
Well, you could go to the Stargazer's deck. You could go to any of the restaurants. You could go to the spa. It's up to you.
I think since I'm getting the night off, I'm definitely gonna go to a bar.
Oh, it's not the night off. You have right now. It's the morning,
Oh, okay.
afternoon. The night is where you return.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. And so yeah, you have you could do stargazing. You can go to the spa. You can go to a bar. You can go to a restaurant.
Hey, man.
Any of those.
In space, it's always night, baby.
Yep,
Yeah, I know.
true that. But yeah, I'm talking about kind of standard, because the cruise operates on kind of a standard Earth
Right,
day-night
that
cycle.
makes sense.
Okay.
But yeah, there are always observation areas where you'll be able to go, like look at the stars or stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, I think I will go look at some stars.
Okay, so I'm trying to remember which deck it's on. Stargazer Lounge. Yeah, you know what? It really doesn't matter because we're not talking about the location, so I'm going to keep you where you are and just describe it. Basically, it's kind of a deck that's still sealed, but it's glass, so you're able to look at you're able to look out into space and marvel at the view. In atmosphere, you've got all the distortion that causes stars to twinkle, but also makes it impossible to really see the true beauty of space. And for a minute, you're just standing there in stunned silence at the beauty of the universe around you. You see vast, colorful clouds of gas and dust. You see constellations that you can recognize from years of interested, curious light reading, and it blows you away. While you're up there, you bump into a young man who he's wearing priest's garb.
All right.
He says, you also have an affinity for the stars.
Yeah, you could say that.
Truly incredible and humbling to look out and ponder the scale of the universe around us, isn't it? Personally, it makes me wonder what it all really means.
Yeah, or maybe a longing to go back home. Personally, I'm tired of the walls of this ship, which is why I'm here.
Yeah, I can understand that. It's in our nature to long for something greater.
Agreed.
You know, I would love to talk to you more about the stars in the universe later tonight if you're available.
Whoa.
Make an observation roll.
All right. I don't have to click my token, right?
No, just click on your character sheet and click observation.
Okay, just making sure.
Are priests
game.
allowed to hit on people?
You'll see what he's really doing.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know, but... Okay, so... He seems to be hiding something. You're not sure what, but...
Okay. What is there any like body language or anything like that I can
He
kinda
seems
tell, like...
friendly. He seems friendly, like he's not coming at you with romantic intent, but there just seems to be he seems to be trying to kind of get in your head, so to speak.
Yeah, do something more than what he's saying on the surface. Or
Yeah.
something like that.
But yeah, now checking your chronometer, you realize that your free hours are almost done. You've been standing here looking at the stars for a while. Now, are
I'm
you
gonna
gonna go back?
Yeah, so I assume my shift is gonna start, right? Or my...
Yeah, it's gonna be starting in maybe 15 minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna say, I'm really sorry. That's flattering, but I have to get back to my shift.
Here, take my card. I'd love to talk to you when you get a moment. I'll be up here later tonight. He hands you a business card.
Okay.
The front is printed with stars, and the words Church of Immaculate Incubation are written in teal.
Oh, God.
Flipping it over, you see the name Father Norman Barr.
Oh, okay.
And
I'm gonna, I guess, taking that, I'm gonna on my way back or whatever, after we say our goodbyes, I'm gonna just turn the corner and just throw that in the trash, the nearest trash bin.
Okay. And yeah, the Church of Immaculate Incubation is written in green.
Okay.
Now,
I will make a note of it though, but
yeah, kind of mental note.
yeah.
Now, I'm gonna double check and make sure that I think my food might have arrived and I didn't hear it. So
Sure.
just give me a second. I'm right by the door. So
I'm just making notes.
Sorry about the dog barking, as well as the space dog.
I can't even hear it.
All right. Someone let a dog onto the cruise ship.
I'm sure there's got to be a dog on here. The question is, what kind of dog, though?
Alien dog, xenomorph dog.
Jesus.
okay, I'm back. Sorry.
Welcome back.
Yep. So
What'd you get to eat?
I got pizza because
Ooh, that sounds good.
yeah.
Steak
Now,
pizza.
let's see. Who
You
wants
said
to
the
go
church-
next? It's gonna
you
be
said the
either
Church of
Tomas
Immaculation,
or
right?
Gina.
You said the Church of what?
Immaculate Incubation.
Exactly? Immaculate Incubation. Okay, gotcha. Good.
I can go next.
Okay, here
Gina
we
can
go.
go next.
The sounds of wind chimes and waterfalls surround you. You
Where's-
continue to hold your pose as the incense fills your lungs. Total and complete relaxation. There's a knock at the door. Jima, open up the door. It's Quinn. You take off your headphones and since the foreign sound has invaded your meditation hour. Fortunately, this time it doesn't seem to be a fan impersonation. Peering through the peephole, you confirm your suspicions. It's your manager, Quinn. Opening the door to your hotel room, he stands in front of you with his arms full of plastic grocery bags, and he smiles at you warmly. Oh, hi, you! Mind taking some of these? He gently sets down the bags onto the bed and stretches his arms. God, those got heavy. But I think we're all set. We've got everything for in-room meals for the rest of the cruise, and not a moment too soon. I saw a group of girls wearing Hypernova Love shirts running to that fan meetup. Less contact we have with those freaks, the healthier we'll be. His words ring true. During your last multi-day concert, your driver had to avoid no less than 15 road jumpers. Each one wore a Hypernova Love memorabilia. You've learned that anyone willing to put that trash on their body isn't a fan, they're a fanatic. Listen, photo ops are tomorrow when we make Planetfall, and when we get some magma surfing gear to show off. Aside from that, in the show times, you don't leave this room. Not my decision, it's the company's. They didn't give us any extra muscle this time. They've got the notion that bodyguards just act like beacons for crazies. Aside from the ship's security, we're on our own. I know it's boring, but we've got a great view of the planets, and they give us soundproof suites so we can rehearse together. What do you want to say, or do?
Well, I have my disguise.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, if you really want to. If you really
I don't
feel
think-
like...
What's his name? Quinn would be happy about that.
Yeah, Oh, that reminds me. On my way here, someone from that Church of Impressive Ejaculation or whatever came to me and asked if we could stop by their head office on Deck 6. Apparently, some of their priests really like you and want to try to schedule a little speech for them. Nothing big, and they promised that it'd be simple and clean. No zealous stuff. We get to review the script and they set up the venue. Also, they've got really good security. We do that, and we get permission to sell some merchandise at their gift shop. 3-minute speech for a new crowd. Not a bad deal. What do you say?
Ew, those ejaculating priests better not touch me.
Yeah, I getcha. Seems a bit fishy to me, too. I'll go do some digging at their offices, see if everything's on the up and up. I'll bring back a copy of the script, see if it's really what they say. Until then, can you make dinner? With his iconic smirk, he leaves the room. As he stands up to leave, he reaches into his front pocket. Before I go, here, they gave me these really cool pens. Said it was a gift of goodwill. Take one. You have in your inventory now an ornate green ink pen.
Fancy.
Yep, so add that to your supplies and inventory.
+1 pen.
Hell yeah.
Yep, specifically ornate green ink pen.
Pen is mightier than the pulse rifle.
Yep. Don't fucking doubt it. 'Cause I will make stats
is
for
now over encumbered.
It weighs as much as a small sun, and you immediately get spaghettified in a black hole.
Jesus.
Okay, last but not least, Tomas. So, now let me switch up the music, because we are going to a different deck.
Also read that wrong. He typed it out over in cucumbered.
Yep. Yeah, Gina is a horny bitch. Okay. Oh, whoops, I forgot to bring you here. You can feel yourself descending. The rumble of distant machinery and sounds of groaning metal makes you slightly uneasy. The scowl on your companion's face adds to the feeling. The elevator feels more and more cramped with every passing moment. As if to break the tension, the other passenger speaks up. This is your first time checking an M-Class?
No, it's not my first time.
Good, makes our job easier. As you're answering him, the elevator doors open. Humph, he says while stepping through the threshold. Come on, we get this done quickly and we can spend the rest of the day on company dime. He gestures for you to follow him as he takes out his clipboard and begins marking it. The elevator dropped you off at deck 2. You find yourself in a long hallway. The walls are light-colored steel with cream-colored insulation padding. The floor is grated and you can see many pipes running beneath you. The tumbling of the ship's HVAC and hissing of internal pressure relief systems coming from above reminds you that the ship is always active, even if you can't see it. You can see one door on either side of the hallway. As you pass by them, you can see they are labeled Staff Dining Hall and Staff Meeting Rooms and Stern Rooms. Walking down the hall, your companion, Joe Bofades, begins speaking.
Bofades.
So his first name, middle name? Last name?
Oh, aren't you glad I came up with that?
Oh my god.
Aren't you gonna ask me who Joe is?
Yeah, who is he?
Joe Mama!
Oh, got him.
Let's switcheroo.
Alright, I'll see you guys later. Stream's over. Good night, guys.
Did you know that Bofades was the name of Achilles' less talked about brother? And he also had a vulnerability, just like Achilles had his heel. His testicles were particularly vulnerable. So, hence the saying, Bofades nuts.
Oh my god.
Anyways,
Thank
let's
you.
continue.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Since this is your first time doing an off-planet test, I'll give you the rundown. Milky Way's cruises has to have an objective report on the functionality of their internal systems, which is why they hired us to perform a live inspection. We check the important parts of the ship while it's running, give them a passing grade, and then write a report. First thing on the checklist are the emergency systems. Oxygen distribution is this way. Tell me, rookie, what's the first thing you check for? Heavy machinery. Make me a heavy machinery roll.
Nope. I'm trying.
Let me know if you need help.
Yeah, it's not doing it.
That's weird. Oh,
Hey, let me reload the page.
Yep. Yeah, try that. That should work.
There we go.
There you go. 2
Big
successes.
rolls. Big rolls.
So you know that the first thing that you check for
Big
is
rolls.
strange odors coming from the vent.
The first thing you gotta check for when you're checking the atmo is you gotta check for anything that smells weird.
Yeah, you got this. We'll be done in no time, he says with a grin. As you continue on the path to the oxygen pumps, you notice that there are several discolored panels welded to the walls. Make me an observation roll.
Big rolls.
Nice. You're sure that these aren't up to code. Do you want to mention it to the inspector?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask them, hey, do you remember what the code for these panels are?
Off the top of my head, but I can look it up in the manifest and get back to you on it. But,
Alright, because they look a little off to me.
Yeah, the crew thinks they're being clever. They like to hide their booze and modded tools in the wall, seal them up with spare paneling so no one's the wiser. Not our problem. We're system inspectors, not structural inspectors. I can promise you that when the superstructure guys get here, these panels will be long gone. The backup water pumps are going to be offline, he says, quoting. He exhales through his nose sharply. Not long after, you arrive at the door labeled Emergency Oxygen Distribution. Here we are, and for the rest of the job, please stop calling me sir. I've been called sir or Mr. Both of these for the past 20 years. On my final off-world inspection, I'd like to be called Joe. Can you do that?
Well, how about I just call you Nuts?
Good. Now let's get this done. I'm starving for some ramen. Entering the room, you see two large vent covers, which are connected to the floor. There is a wall-mounted terminal displaying the words "Stand by" and "Activate." I'll turn it on. You let me know what the air smells like and we can move on to the generators.
Alright, Joe.
With a few clacks of the terminal, you hear the machinery underneath the floor powering up. A faint draft of warm air trickles through the vents. As the air pumps grow louder, the airstream grows more powerful. Soon, a steady stream of cool, fresh air is flowing through your hair. Feels rather pleasant. You don't have any stress, so don't remove any. What starts off as fresh air, however, slowly begins to feel hot and humid. And then you notice the smell. Sour, burnt copper with a strong mix of battery acid.
Hey,
Yummy.
Joe, something smells weird.
God damn it, I knew this wouldn't be easy. Alright, pop those suckers open and let's see what died in there. Fucking cat probably ran in here during the last dry dock. Taking the grates off the vent covers, you're greeted by two gaping maws of darkness. The vents seem to swallow all light and exhale a foul, acidic stench. Switching on his work light, Joe peers down the metal throat. You can't see any evidence of animal infestation. Whatever's causing the smell must be further down, and by the power of it, seems like it's coming from both ends. Left or right, he asks you as he gestures to both vent openings.
Flip a coin.
Okay.
You go one way, I'll go the other.
Yep, so let's, I'm gonna just do, evens or odds for going right.
I'll take evens.
Okay. 4, so you're gonna go right, he's gonna go left. Hit me on the squawk box if you find anything. And with
Alright,
that,
Joe.
he crawls into the left vent and vanishes from view. Now, with that, we are going to switch player again. Back to deck 5. We're going to switch to Jack.
Yeah. This whiskey hits the spot.
As you enjoy your drink, you hear the couple next to you begin to speak up. They sound agitated. Give me a second. Just let me get here, and let me put in the two. There we go. And
That dude's swole as fuck. Is that the
Now-
ultimate Chad right there?
you'll see.
Oh,
I just
it's
don't understand why you have to
ultimate
do this every time. The sermons are on an impulsive schedule. The Night of Hope is the most important evening out of the year for us. Please try to understand. Fine, whatever. Just please try to be in the room before 9. I'll try. He gives her a quick peck before speed walking away from the bar. The woman sighs and returns to her glass. He's
Zoom.
Before long, her wandering eyes meet yours. As she does, she stares at you in disbelief and feigns joy. At this moment, you realize who she is. It's your ex-wife, Michelle.
Oh,
She
great.
walks
Oh
over.
shit.
Oh my goodness, it's Jack. Hello, it's been a while.
Michelle, how are you doing? What are you doing?
I've been busy. I got my master's in intersystem communication, and I started working with the company. This is the first time I've had a vacation in 2 years. What about you?
Am I on vacation or do I work on this boat?
You're sort of on vacation. You're basically just like on a bender.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on vacation. You can say that if you want. I'm enjoying myself, let's say.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad you're at least having a good time. She kind of says she's withholding a sigh.
Fully
kinda-
sarcastically.
Yeah, she looks at the drink and then at you, and then tries to avoid your gaze. Oh,
So who's that guy?
oh, Chad? He's good. We met during
shit.
class. He was
Of
falling
course his
behind, and
name's
I offered to tutor him. 3 years later, we're engaged. She holds up her right hand, displaying a platinum ring. And let me give you a handout so you can see what Chad looks like. Look at handouts,
God.
you should be able to see it.
God damn it, Chad.
You can also call him Mr. Thundercock.
Where's handouts?
It's in the same tab as characters.
Oh, I didn't get Chad. I only got improvised weapons.
Okay, let me oh yeah, let me there we go. Now
There
look.
it is. Yeah, ultimate Chad.
Yep,
God
that's
damn it. I say
Ah,
you can cut a watermelon in half on his jaw.
yeah, he's really nice. He's a missionary for the Church of Immaculate Incubation. He's very passionate, and
Of course he
Looks
is.
like
sometimes
Chuck
a bit
Norris.
too much.
no, he's Cuck Norris.
Yeah, Cuck
Basically,
Norris.
yeah. I'm sorry, Jack. I can't do this right now. Can we talk again tomorrow? Just right now isn't a good time. I'll see you later. She gulps down the remainder of her whiskey and walks away with a husk, leaving you alone.
I say under my breath, I say, you're the one who walked up to me. Like I didn't even fucking want to talk. I honestly didn't even want to talk to her. As soon as you said it was my ex-wife, I was like, great.
Yep. Okay, so now we're gonna switch to Esteban Cardoso. Let me bring us back to deck 3. By now it's about 3:30 p.m. and your your poster is at 4. So, do you want to go to your room and grab your poster so you can start setting up?
Oh, I have to get my poster so I can set out for my poster. Yes, let's go get my poster.
Okay, so you grab your poster from your room, you head to the conference hall, and you prop it up at your designated spot. A few grad students and fellow scientists come up, they read your poster, and ask you a few questions about your research on the biology and ecology of life on icy moons. So, they're kind of asking you questions like, so what have you been finding? Anything interesting in particular?
Well, I have some interesting theories about evolution on these icy moons.
Oh, really? Do you want me to not force you to have to improvise theories on...
Well, I think the mRNA is really the defining factor in how they replicate, and the mutations in the mRNA in these particular organisms is very unique. And some other sciencey words and stuff like that.
Yes, they're all
Proteins
hanging on your
and
word, and
Something about
Yeah.
the ions in the atmosphere and the elements in the soil.
reversing
they're
the
all-
polarity and
They're all listening to you science away, and they're sciencing right back.
Science, bitch.
Basically, yeah. You also see a couple of other posters. This particular poster session is all centered around ecology. So you see another poster called Ecology of the Lionworms from Zagreus, Implications for Interaction with Humans, and another on the diet of wild Tanakan scorpionids. So you're able to walk away from your poster if you want and look around at some of the others.
Okay.
Do you want to
You
do
know,
that? Or...
I'm curious about the diet of those tentacle things.
Yep. So you find out that they're rather voracious carnivores. They'll eat pretty much anything and everything that they can catch and overpower. And they've been documented eating basically every other creature in their environment, including each other.
Fascinating.
Yep, there's a bunch of other posters. There's a few about various fungi that have taken the role of plants because plants didn't actually evolve on those planets. There's a couple of posters about various alien creatures and how they fit into their ecosystems. But yeah, there's surprisingly not as many on the Zagreus. You presume it's probably because of the current quarantine situation. But towards the end of your time slot, two men in black dress shirts and professional black slacks are making rounds through presentations. They don't stop to ask questions, but make very quick notes on a clipboard. They're using very odd pens, which seem to be artisanally crafted. As they pass your poster, you catch a very brief interaction between them. We better be prepared in the event that happens. No one was wandering around once you don't hear the rest. Don't worry, they've all been looped. Seamless. Besides, it's a contingency plan. They walk around before you're able to catch any more of their conversation. So now that poster session has ended, you've got a bit of free time before the workshop. You're starting to feel the pangs of hunger. You haven't eaten dinner yet.
All right. Well, I got the part that I was excited about out of the way, the poster. So now, let's go up and have some fun before the workshop.
Okay, so do you want to get dinner, or do you want to try and skip a meal and risk taking a few stat penalties?
Yeah, I want to go to the promenade and find somewhere to eat there.
Okay, let's go up to deck 5 or deck 6, either one. So, yeah, deck 5. There's the main dining room. There's Ramen Nebula, which also has kind of cheap ramen.
Ooh, a ramen nebula. I'm going there.
Okay, just move your token there.
All right. What do they have at Ramen Nebula?
They have ramen.
Ha!
I'll have a nice tonkatsu ramen.
Yep. So, do you want to drink with that, or?
I'll have a beer with my ramen. Nothing too heavy. I got a workshop later.
Yep. That's going to cost you $7, so lower the total amount in your inventory by 7.
Oh yeah, what did my whiskey cost at Blaze?
Sorry, I'm chewing. I'm trying to eat my dinner.
You okay?
I'm going to say that costs $3.
$3 whiskey? That's cheap. All right. Let's say that I drank fucking 3 of them then.
Okay, so yeah, lower yourself.
$3 a piece. Why not?
Hell yeah.
And for the next shift, all agility-based skill rolls will be at a -1.
Nice.
Not for
$3.
Because that's what alcohol does in this game. But since Esteban only is drinking 1 serving, it's not gonna cause problems for you.
How long does that last? An entire shift, you said?
Yeah, a shift is about 8 hours.
Okay. So
But-
I'm a little slurry. I'm a little drunk.
Okay, so we are going to switch to Gigi. It's been certainly longer than a half hour, and Quinn is not back.
Uh-oh.
I forgot to leave music.
I was even
The
nice
microwave
enough to heat
chicken
him up.
wings you prepared for both of
What's
you are
up,
just
Johnny
about
Hatch? How you doing,
stone
buddy?
cold. Steve Austin.
Oh,
You have no way to
hell yeah.
contact Quinn. Hell yeah, brother. Your manager's missing. Hell yeah. What?
What?
What? My manager's missing. I'm a pop star. Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
So you have no radio, and you don't know the number to the church retreat offices. So what do you want to do?
Said I have no radio.
No radio to
Contact
no
him.
radio to contact him.
Okay.
I'm sure he's fine.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
he'll be
getting
fine.
restless now.
Yep. Do you want to just stay in the room and do nothing, or do you want to like go out and look around and see if you can find a sign of where he went?
Well, I want to make sure I'm going out as just a commoner and not dressed
Okay, yeah.
as Gigi the pop star.
Okay, yeah. So you have your disguise, so you're able to just don that. And so, yep, go out, and where do you want to go?
Let's check out the Kate Spade.
Okay, go ahead. It's basically just an area with a bunch of little tacky cruise ship souvenirs. As you're passing through the crowds, you see a bunch of groups of fans wearing Hypernova Love t-shirts, but luckily, because you've really done a great job with your disguise, because you have a lot of practice, you don't get noticed. In fact, one of them bumps into you by accident and is extremely rude. She's like, "Watch it, bitch!"
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Goddamn.
she practically shoulder checks you as she moves in the way as she continues on.
Your fans are horrible people. Congratulations.
I mutter, "Stupid bitch," under my breath.
Yep, she doesn't seem to hear you as they're all they all seem to be trying to look for the other you. So,
Did he give any indication where the...
unfortunately, he did not. That said, you do see signs for a security office on this deck.
I can ask them. They know where the priests are.
Yep. Okay, so entering the security office, the sound of crowds and moody music is instantly muted, replaced by that background noise we just heard. No, I'm kidding. It's replaced by the humming of air vents and the clacking of terminal keys. The room is an eggshell color with a blue and yellow trim lining around the doorways. There's a small waiting area on the right-hand side of the room with a sitting area and a television. A receptionist desk is stationed in the far left corner of the room, a wall-mounted fan facing down on it, and a terminal is sat on the desk. A woman dressed in a white button-up shirt and a formal black skirt is working on the terminal. She's wearing headphones and doesn't notice you. Let me,
Yeah, where's the security office?
It's up here, guest security.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably where you
I
pulled
went
that
back.
token from, yeah.
Yep, so you can hear this muffled music, and you recognize it. It's
Oh,
the
God.
song Light My Fuse from your album Hypernova Love. A woman is clearly grooving to it and takes no notice of you until you're directly in front of her. Surprised, she whips off her
Excuse
headphones
me?
and greets you, still playing the song. Hello, ma'am. How may I help you today?
I'm looking for some ejaculating priests.
She gives you a quizzical look. says, "Yeah, okay, I understand. If you don't mind, if you please fill out this report form, a security officer will be with you very soon."
She has the wrong impression.
Yep, basically. So, do you want to fill out the form with what information you have?
No.
Okay.
Look, I'm looking for some priests. They're supposed to be running a convention here.
Oh, if you mean the church convention, the church holds the church holds their sermons on in the aqua theater. It's been cleared out of water to make room for their retreat.
I probably don't want to head there just yet, though.
Okay. So now we will switch players again. We're gonna go to Stephanie. Let me just grab it. Let's see. Okay. You're back at the infirmary. We are on, I believe it's deck 6. Yep. Opening the infirmary, you are surprised to see that your supervisor is nowhere to be seen. You can see a post-it note on his desk. The note is written in cursive. Important meeting today. You're in charge.
Okay.
Okay, so make me an observation roll.
All right.
Okay. The note was written in green ink. There isn't a green pen in the entire office. Another thing that is immediately apparent, Dr. Patel has immaculate print writing, but outright refuses to write in cursive. That's one of the reasons he's been named head staff of the cruise. Drunk people have a hard time reading cursive. That you're the only staff on duty, you begin final preparations for the inevitable surge from Deck 15. Big thing to ensure is that you have enough tranquil vials. Do you want to re-examine your supply?
Sure. Yeah, let's do that.
You come to the horrific discovery that you're missing an entire box of doses.
Alarming.
Yep, so your supervisor is missing. There is a note that was not written by him. That seems to be someone impersonating him. The note was written in green ink.
Okay.
So now, while you decide what you want to do, we are going to switch back to Jack.
Sure.
Okay.
You're still at the bar. But Michelle comes back looking very upset. She sees you're still here and she rushes up to you. Tears are nearly streaming down her face. Chad hasn't come home. No one in the church even acknowledges that he exists now. And none of the security staff is even taking me seriously. I don't know what happened to him. You're the only one I know on this ship, and I know that you're able to investigate and find out things. Please help me.
Where was the last time you saw him?
You were here. It was at the bar. He said that he had to go to this Night of Hope thing in the evening, and I haven't seen him since.
Did he tell you where it was taking place?
Oh, he was not willing to divulge that information because I was not a church member.
What'd you call it? The Night of Hope?
Yeah, that's what he called it. The Night of Hope. He said it was the most important event of the year for his faith.
Here's what I'll do. Keep my ears to the ground, my eyes peeled. I'll keep a lookout for him. What room are you staying in?
Staying in room. Give me a second.
I mean, it doesn't matter. You can just make up a number.
Room 6542.
All right. I'll just stay there. I'll come to your room if I find anything.
Thank you. Thank you for helping me. I know we had our troubles, but I know that you're a good man and you'll be able to do something.
Yeah,
She gives you a kiss on the cheek and runs off. So now, we're going to switch to Esteban.
Crazy dame falling in love with a guy in a cult.
But it's a cult. Are you accusing them of a cult? Because there's nothing strange going on here at all.
Not a cult.
How dare you? You must be
I mean,
paranoid or something.
My character probably doesn't know that it's a cult yet, but
I'm just saying,
Robobike is
No,
saying
he
that
doesn't.
some culty
No, there's
shit.
There's
going
nothing
on right
suspicious
now.
going
There's
on here at
people
all. I
missing.
don't know what you're talking about.
There's people disappearing on this boat, and there's a
Who
weird
says they're
church.
disappearing?
I've been on a couple cruises. I've never seen a church convention on a fucking cruise boat before.
You guys are all paranoid. I don't know what you're talking about. So, now it is 8 p.m. and you head to the workshop held in an auditorium inside the conference hall. So, do you want to head there like right on time, or do you want to be a little bit early?
Well, if I finish my ramen, I'm gonna go ahead and head there. It'll be a little bit early.
Okay, so you get a seat pretty close to the stage. Well, not stage, but the presenter. So, at the small table with a microphone in the front of the room is your old colleague, Dr. Sarah Gillette. She actually does see you and beckons you over.
What was it? What was her name?
Dr. Sarah Gillette.
Dr.
The
Gillette.
best,
So good to see you.
the best
It's so
a
good to
man
see you,
can get.
Esteban. How long has it been? 2, 3 years? I saw your poster this afternoon. I'm glad to see you're still doing great work. She gives you a big hug. After the workshop, we should sit down and catch up.
Yeah, if you have any thoughts about my research, I'm willing to listen.
Yeah, and I hope you'll be able to come up with some thoughts on mine. Now,
Sure.
the auditorium is humming with scientists talking to each other, but it comes to a silence as Dr. Gillette taps on the microphone. The auditorium is packed. Not a single seat is unoccupied. Hello, everyone! It's good to see so many brilliant minds here to discuss what I have to present tonight. I know some of you might just be here because you think I'm just another crazy, raving lunatic, but I can assure you that is not the case. I have been given a permit to possess and share with you the contents of the infamous Space Beast, the quote-unquote report of transpired events on Fiorina 161 by the convict Robert Morse. While the writing is crude and the descriptions are far from scientific, it may not be a work of fantasy. I am hoping that by providing a description of this creature and some of the major events the book describes, we may learn more about exotic life forms. Furthermore, if true, some of the information revealed in this book is groundbreaking. Dr. Gillette grabs a book that is sitting on the table and flips it open. Morse explicitly mentions that Ellen Ripley somehow brought the life form with her when her emergency evacuation vehicle crash-landed on Fiorina 161. She apparently encountered them on the now-destroyed Hadley's Hope colony on LV-426. This contradicts the official reports of a contagion outbreak and subsequent nuclear event. She also noted that the Nostromo had been redirected to the same moon, which was her first encounter with the creature and led to the destruction of that ship. Again, contrary to official reports. From Ellen Ripley's description, the creature, much like many hymenopterans, is eusocial in nature, creating a hive with a queen and many workers or drones. The first stage of their life cycle is parasitic. The young are implanted into a host via an intermediary stage and proceed to emerge violently from the chest cavity. The growth rate of the creatures is staggering. Ripley reports that the parasite that emerged from her crewmate Kane was a snake-like nymph, only 35 centimeters long, but when next encountered, only a few hours later, the drone was already over 2 meters in height. It has a long head with either a domed or ridged cranium, a long tail ending in a sharp spike, and sharp claws on its forelimbs and hind limbs. Like some fish on Earth, the creature possesses a pharyngeal inner jaw which can extend at extreme speed to inflict deadly wounds. Interestingly, the morphology of the resulting creature appears dependent on the host form from which it emerges, as the drones encountered by Ripley emerged from human hosts were bipedal in habit. The creature on Fiorina 161 was quadrupedal, as the host was a canine. This may indicate that the developing embryo acquires traits from the host organism during gestation. The creatures are fast, agile, and stealthy. During each encounter with the creatures, multiple people were killed in surprise attacks. They are also incredibly strong. Morse recalls a first-hand observation of the Fiorina 161 specimen lifting a 79 to 84 kilogram man by the head. Lastly, Morse reports that Ripley described the creatures as having an incredibly strong acid in place of blood. These traits may all sound too outlandish to be true, but one need only look at the diversity of life on Earth and in other systems to see that it is not as far-fetched as some would have you believe. Bombardier beetles, for example, use a violent chemical reaction to spray boiling liquid at potential threats. Is highly acidic blood really too crazy to be true? Mantis shrimp are able to move their forelimbs as fast as a pistol bullet. A similar type of morphology could easily explain the power behind the reported pharyngeal jaws of the creature Morse describes. Lastly, many wasps on Earth use various insects or even tarantulas as living food sources for their young, which then burn their victim and proceed to eat them alive. This creature's life cycle seems quite similar. While there are some unanswered questions, I hope the evidence I provided will open your minds to the possibility of its existence. If it does indeed exist, studying it could advance our understanding in many different fields of science. She continues to talk a little bit about the events of the book, about Robert Morse, about the reaction to the book, and the official kind of accounts of those events and how they don't really add up with evidence we can observe. The auditorium is awash with different reactions. Some speak in hushed skepticism, others carry a harsher tone. But now, as the crowd begins to move as the talk comes to a close, you lose sight of Sarah. Remembering what she said, you figure she'd be heading to the main dining room.
Okay, so out of character really quick, is the official story that she's describing this like viral plague that we were talking about earlier in the poster room?
It's a different thing. They don't ever describe it explicitly. They just say like, oh, there was a viral outbreak, and then there was a nuclear strike by the Union of Progressive Peoples that attacked Hadley's Hope, and Fiorina 161, everybody died due to a virus or disease outbreak of some sort, and Weyland-Yutani was sent in to kind of finish the quarantine and try and save any survivors.
Okay. Alright, well, I'm going to try and find Sarah so I can catch up with her, because this is very shocking.
So you find her at an empty table in the main dining room.
Sarah.
Good evening, Dr. Cardoso, she says with a smile. So, may I get a peer review of my presentation?
What she said was clearly shocking. Ripley has a lot of wild accusations, but you know, knowing Weyland-Yutani, I'm not sure that I believe their official story either. So what makes you think that this is real?
Well, there have been a bunch of stories, in addition to just the LV-426 and Fiorina 161 incidents that I've been finding out about through unofficial sources, such as the sudden disappearance of the Zagreus colony and the subsequent quarantine. I found survivors.
Survivors.
Olivia Ship. I'm not allowed to really officially mention this, so don't tell anyone, but she told me that a research vessel had been brought in by the governor as it had been taken by pirates, and she was buying it off them for an incredibly cheap price. So she sent a biology team to try and determine whether or not it was safe. Apparently, there were creatures on board, and they massacred the entire team sent up there, causing the ship to crash planet-side. The creatures apparently survived this crash and began massacring the people. The only 3 to survive were Olivia Ship, her girlfriend Kara, and her artificial synthetic sister, Viola. The creatures matched the exact description to a T of the ones described in Robert Morse's novel. The acidic blood, the parasitic lifestyle, the ability to incorporate DNA from a host. She apparently encountered one that had been emerged from a Zagrean lionworm. So it all adds up.
This is grave news, and they're just trying to cover it up?
I mean, it seems pretty clear. I mean, people seem to... I mean, you must have heard some of the peanut gallery. Mind the mad woman. Saucy Sarah's been in the stash again. I mean, right after, someone said to my face that I might as well start researching Santa's reindeer and sing Rudolph as scientific evidence. Ever since I started doing research into the LV 426 and Furina 161 incidents, my career has been on a roller coaster.
I feel for you, Sarah, but I know you. You studied with me, and I know your research is sound.
I appreciate that. On the one hand, my application for tenure at Kyoto University was rejected, but I received a letter of interest from the New Zealand University of Astronomy and Astrobiology. I lost most of my government funding, but I've been getting huge donations from the Scientific Minds of Faith Foundation. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to hold down a lecture hall for the past 3 years. I can only get time slots at science fiction cons. The way things were going, I don't think I would have been even allowed to buy tickets at this event, let alone host a workshop. But by the good graces of luck, I was given a second chance thanks to my benefactors.
Your benefactors?
I don't know if you're gonna believe this, but someone from inside the Milky Way cruise offices contacted me directly, begged me to come aboard, along with permission to host a live discussion of Space Beast. I know better than to look a gift horse in the mouth, but it came with a condition. They told me to find, quote-unquote, inquisitive minds. So far, I've found 27 people at this whole convention who are even remotely open to the idea of such an exotic xenological organism. There's another private workshop being held there tonight at 11 p.m. I don't know if you have plans this evening, but it would mean the world to me if you'd attend it.
Did I have plans this evening already?
No.
Okay. Well, I am intrigued. And I hate to see you suffer like this, so I'll go for you.
Thank you so much, Esteban. You don't know what this means to me. Now, listen, my benefactors were very specific. They care about secrecy, and they want to make sure this meeting isn't interrupted. I don't even know where it's being held, just that it's on Deck 2. They told me to give the name and room number of those who want to attend, and that someone would come by around 10:30 to escort them. I think it might be too late to give them your name, but how about you come over to my room, when they come get me, I'll try to get them to squeeze you in. I've got to go pick up my stuff from the hall and take it back to my room, and then take a shower, but I'll be ready for you at 10:15. I'm in room 216 on Deck 7. I'll see you then. With that, she gets up and jogs out of the room. So now we're going to switch to Tomas.
Back down in the guts.
Yep.
Nice knowing you.
Inside the vent is less than pleasant. The low
that's
ceiling
right.
forces you to crawl, and the sharp rivets jutting inward always threaten to cut you, and of course the smell is ever present. Suddenly the whole ship rocks. Mobility roll. Bracing yourself against the wall, you're able to avoid getting tossed around in the vent. However, as you were fighting your own body weight, your arm is pressed into one of the rivet spikes. You've got a pretty deep puncture wound now. Nothing serious, but you should get it checked out when you can. You realize that this judder must have meant the ship just left the docking station.
God damn it. Go as I hold my arm.
Crawling forward, the sounds of ventilation and groaning metal are joined by something else. A quick series of bangs. They seem like they're coming from in front of you, but further down the ventilation shaft. As they get closer, they eventually slow down, and with one loud thud, they stop altogether.
I'm gonna keep going towards the sound.
You start to hear another set of bangs again, coming from the same area, although this time they're much slower and softer. Again, the sounds cease, but only for a moment as they begin once again, getting quieter and more distant over time. Along with this rhythmic thudding, a dull metallic scrape. Eventually, the droning of air, pumps, and rattling pipes take over once again. After a few more minutes of crawling through the vents, your flashlight picks up something shiny. It's a syringe. The plunger is depressed, but there's still a tiny bit of fluid in the reservoir.
I'm gonna go ahead and pick it up.
As you do, you hear your radio crackle to life. The voice on the other end isn't Joe's. The sound is very muffled, and most is unintelligible, but you can make out a few words. Capacity. Gillette. Useful. The radio suddenly cuts out. Not long after, you notice that the smell is becoming much stronger, and you see light reflecting from around an upcoming corner. Rounding the corner, you're nearly blinded by the light source. Regaining your sight, you see that the vent discontinues and opens up into a wide blue steel room. The sound of hydraulics takes over the whirring of air pumps. Before you exit, you can see two crew members crowding a terminal. One is typing furiously, the other is relaying numbers from a clipboard. As they work, you can hear hydraulics powering down, followed by a muffled metallic clang. Smell is definitely coming from this room. You can see that the room is rather plain besides the terminal. You also take note that if you studied the ship's blueprints, this room shouldn't be here at all. This area should be steam and power conduits connecting Deck 1 machinery to the upper decks. The people working on the terminal don't notice you. Roll me mobility again. Okay. Give me a second. Okay. They actually do notice you. As you exit the vent, one of the crew turns to your location. He gets the attention of his companion and begins walking towards you. As they turn to look at you, you notice that both of them have a lapel pin. I'm going to show you the label. Look in handouts in just a second. There you go.
Oh yeah, that's totally not a xenomorph at all.
No.
It's
What's a xenomorph? I don't know what you're talking
Totally not. No
Totally
idea
not.
what that is.
It's a fucking
Dolphin.
it's a kumi because this is the Church of the Immaculate Ejaculation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cum stain.
Exactly.
The now alert crew member reaches to his back pocket, but is stopped by the first, shaking their head. They turn back to you. Excuse me, this is a restricted area. Senior Milky Way staff only.
All right. Hey, have you guys seen Joe? He's my supervisor, and he went down another vent. We're checking out the O2 systems.
No, nobody, you're the only one who's come through here.
All right, I guess I'll have to go back and radio him, see where he's at.
Yep, I'm sorry, sir, but this area is off limits to anyone at this point. Decontamination will take 24 hours. Thank you for bringing the bent breach to our attention. We can escort you back to your designated area. Please come with
Okay.
us.
All
Shouldering
right.
up to you, they walk you over to the left wall of the room. They hold their key cards up to it, and soon a section of the wall opens, leading to a hallway. They escort you out and close the wall behind them. You hear the hydraulics hiss, and the internal locks thunk into place. Thank you for your service, Inspector. With that, they walk down the hallway and round a corner out of view.
All right, I'm gonna try my radio and see if I can hail Joe on the radio.
All you get is static.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah, you know that if you were to, if you really believe that he's missing, you would want to go up to the security office on Deck 5 and file a report.
Yeah. So that is what I'm gonna go do.
Yep, and that explains how you got here. Now the last player that we have to deal with, I believe, there are 2 more beats before we get all together.
Yeah, I
We
guess
are
I probably
going-
would have started heading towards the guest security as well after Michelle told me about her fucking dumb fucking fiance husband Chad dude. So I guess I'm there too.
Oh. Esteban, do you go to Sarah's room?
Yeah, I did tell her I was going to her room.
Okay, so
So,
let me, well, I'm not going to bother pulling, I'm not going to bother pulling it up because you're just going to be going elsewhere anyway. So, you go there, she's not there, but neither are her projects. As you're, do you want to look around a little bit?
yeah, I'm gonna check her. Well, yeah, I'll check her room just to make sure there's no sign of her.
Yep.
And also to wait for a second, maybe she stepped out.
So, yeah, there's no sign of anything. It's immaculately put together. The room looks like it was just made up maybe 15 minutes ago. You hear a knock on the door.
I'll answer it.
The door opens, and it's a catering cart. There's a bottle of champagne with a note.
Thanks. I think I'll pick up the champagne and the note.
The note says, "Sorry I missed you. Love you to Blazes. Love you 4.0 cutie with a less than 3 heart. This is particularly strange because you didn't have a 4.0 GPA, and because Blazes is capitalized."
Very strange. It almost looks like she was never in this room at all. Who would send this champagne? I think Blazes was the name of a bar on the promenade.
Indeed it was.
Well, I guess I could go there and just see if she's there. Yeah, maybe maybe
Go ahead.
she's just playing a game with me. I don't know.
Yep. So, you go to Blazes?
I'm gonna
You,
peek around the room just to see if I see her.
The bartender calls out. He says, he looks at you and he says, "Are you Esteban Cardoso?"
Yes, yeah, that's me.
A woman named Sarah gave me something to give to you.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
He gives you a device. You recognize it as a personal data transmitter. This one seems to be able to transmit vital signs, and normally it would be able to transmit their location, but it seems like that part of it has no longer functioning. There's a note with the device. It says, "Never trusted them."
What do the vital signs on it look like right now?
It seems like she's asleep or unconscious or something like that. Her signs are kind of slow metabolism, not like she doesn't look like she's active.
Well, at first I thought maybe she gave me the wrong room number. But then, how would I get the note? This doesn't seem right. I'm just gonna take this to security and see if anyone's reported anything odd.
Okay, so now the last person we go to is Gigi. What do you want to do here?
I'm gonna try something, I think.
Okay. What do you want to try?
I'm gonna... I still have the attention of this woman at security, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna lean over the counter, and basically what I want to do is try to see if I can use her phone to call, what's his name? Quinn.
Quinn? Yep. She tells you. Do you want to roll manipulation?
Sure, and I'm gonna say, I'll whisper it to her. Look, there's a creepy boy following me, and I lost my phone, and I need to call my friend, you know, a girl problem.
Yeah, I totally understand. Boys are just... She just...
But I mean, I'll roll the manipulations still.
Yeah.
I might need to refresh.
Yep, go ahead. I'd love to let you use the phone, but our phone line is down right now, so we're trying to get it fixed, but it might be an hour. If you want to stay here and wait until until he gives up, you're welcome to stay here where it's safe.
Okay. I guess I'll just wait then.
Yep. So, an overweight security officer walks out of behind the desk. His hands are preoccupied holding a mug of coffee, and he's adjusting his belt. The incandescent lighting shines off his thinning bit of hair on his head. His multiple chins grouped down, giving him kind of a turkey-like appearance. In a voice like Jay Bergerman.
I was just going to say it's Jay Bergerman.
Yep. Hello, ma'am. I'm Deck Chief Randall. Please come into my office so we can figure out what's going on.
Oh, jeez.
The officer's desk room is very clean. The only thing which seem like clutter are a messy stack of postcards and a few post-it notes on the wall. There are two other doors in this room. One labeled evidence and holding cell. Chief Randall sits down on a swivel chair with a grunt and seems pretty relaxed. Setting his coffee down, he picks up a clipboard and an ornate pen. Well, Miss Jima, let's begin.
Oh. Wait, so what exactly is he asking me?
To get you to tell what happened, why you're here.
Yeah, why are you in the security office right now?
I actually
Like,
don't.
what's going on? Like, what's going on? What are you here to report? That sort of thing.
I actually don't know if I'm actually trying to report anything right now.
Okay, well, if you need anything, just come back and find us, okay? He lets you go. Now, the rest of you, as you came in, and you, I'm guessing, told kind of your story that a person you know is missing. The secretary gives you missing person forms, and I'm presuming you guys fill those out.
Yep.
Chief Randall comes out. Hello, folks. My name is Chief Randall. I understand you've all made missing persons reports. However, I will not be able to take your statements at the moment. Not to worry, I've already forwarded reports to the other deck chiefs, and they have officers on the job. Now, I understand that you might be distressed at the moment, but I want to remind you that there aren't too many places someone can get lost on this ship. We'll find them and contact you. Have a good day. After his speech, he walks out of the room. He leaves you alone with the secretary and the other people around you who have made missing person reports. This is the first time you all are seeing and meeting each other.
That guy was a useless jackass.
And a
Like,
fucking
ew.
liar.
He smelled like cheese.
You guys
And
all
chili.
missing persons reports?
Yeah, it's pretty odd that we're all filing missing persons reports and the boat just took off from dock about 20 minutes ago.
Are any of you here for the research and the science convention?
Nah.
What science convention?
Okay, never mind.
No. What science convention? I was just here to inspect the ship.
Oh, well, I'm a exobiologist and I study life forms from other planets and moons and, a student of mine.
You mean you're a scientist, right?
Yeah, I'm a scientist.
I found this weird thing when I was inspecting downstairs where my boss got lost. I wonder if you could take a look at it and see what the shit it is. I'm gonna hand over the or show him the syringe that I found.
Now, Esteban, you don't recognize it, but Stephanie, you do. It's one of the syringes of Tranquil that was missing from the infirmary.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to ask a couple questions. So you said they were tranquil, right?
Yep, tranquilizer.
Okay, so has this happened before where people have stolen stuff from the medbay?
Yeah, occasionally people will try and cop, especially like painkillers. Sometimes people will take tranquilizers, but it's not very common, and usually when they do, it's not that much.
Okay.
You've never seen any time where that much went missing at once.
Where did you say you got that?
It's in the vents down on deck 2. Boss and I had gone down there because the O2 systems smelt real funky.
That is extremely odd. I'm actually missing an entire box of those in my medbay.
An entire box?
Yes.
I wonder where the rest of them went. Wonder if those guys down on deck 2 know anything about this.
Hmm.
This
Can you say
sounds like a
you were
mystery.
inspecting them?
Hmm?
You were inspecting these vents?
Oh yeah, it's inspector sent to inspect the ship.
Yeah, this has never happened before, so people steal little things here and there from time to time, but never this much. This is a lot.
That's certainly weird.
I'd say.
Describe the smell in the O2 system. You think there's something wrong with the oxygen here?
Ah, man, it smelled like dying cats or some shit down there. Like, it smelled battery acid. It's warm and wet when it shouldn't have been.
Acid. How strange.
Indeed.
So, like, are we all gonna suffocate?
No, the air's still flowing. It just smells real weird.
Yep. It only smells in the vents. It doesn't smell anywhere else. You assume that it's whatever the source of the smell is. It's kind of localized.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be a problem on any other decks other than in those vents.
Did you find any biological material that the smell may have been coming from?
I don't think so, but I definitely found a space in the ship that shouldn't have been there. Like, there's a big old room down there where all it should have been was pipes and such.
You're saying there's a room on the boat that isn't on like the blueprint? It's not supposed to be there?
It doesn't seem like it's supposed to be there.
It's kind of strange, don't you think?
Oh, definitely.
Probably where these people are going to shoot up.
Shoot up,
I
or maybe, I don't know. It's just wild. I'm just throwing this out there because, I don't know what the heck's going on, but maybe somebody took those to tranquilize people so that they could, I don't know why I would be linked to like some acid smell. I don't know, but I'm just thinking because we're all missing people. I don't know. I'm just wild. I'm drunk. Don't even listen to me right now.
I love it.
All jokes aside, my supervisor is also missing, which is why I'm here as well.
Yep. And now, Gigi, you remember that you saw when you were briefly in Chief Randall's room, you saw an evidence room.
Right.
Yep, just if you wanted to share that information, I don't know.
So you're all missing
I
people.
I didn't really see anything other than the fact that it said evidence, so...
Yep, I wasn't sure if you wanted to share that or not. Because, now, Jack, as an investigator, you would know that the ship is going to have some sort of security footage because of shoplifters or even just having video footage for liability purposes.
Mm.
And you feel safe assuming that that would be in security's wing.
Mm. I bet. Where do you keep those tranquils? I'm talking to Stephanie at this point.
It's down in my med bay, actually, and
You got cameras in your med bay?
You do.
yes, I do.
Why don't we try and get a hold of that footage somehow?
Yep.
That sounds like a great idea.
You might consider asking the secretary because the chief is not. He apparently had to go answer a call.
All right, I'll walk up to the secretary's desk. I say, "Is it a woman?"
Yeah.
I say, "Miss, I think we might have a security breach, and I think we might need to check some security cameras in the med bay because it seems like a whole crate of Tranquil has gone missing."
So, roll me manipulation.
All right. With a -1, right?
Yep. Or no,
I'm
not
already at
-1.
0, so.
Yeah, roll it with just flat because it's not an agility-based skill.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, because you're probably. Hey,
Cool.
what do you know?
Nice.
She says, I normally wouldn't, but because you're not staff, but I just, that poor woman she points to
I
is being
flash her my marshal badge.
Yep, and she says, because normally marshals wouldn't have this jurisdiction on on what is essentially private property, but, just hearing about how that poor girl was hiding from some creepy boy, I feel like if I didn't help you, I'd be a monster.
There's a lot of strange things going on in this boat, and we need to figure it out.
Yep. So she is going to let you in to the evidence room.
All right.
Let me just
Excellent.
make sure. Yep.
I'm assuming that Stephanie's coming in with me, since she's the medical.
She's gonna let you. She's gonna let you all in.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yep. So you're able to see the all of the security footage throughout the ship. Now, who wants to roll me observation or comtech? Either one will do. But you only get to roll once, so choose a character who's gonna choose which character
3.
and what skill.
I got 3 on Ob as well.
I've got 8 total on Comtech.
Ooh. If anybody's got anything higher than that, I'd roll that Comtech.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
And while you're doing that, 70 in between that is gonna say, this is also something that I forgot to mention, but there was a note left by my supervisor, and I don't think it was his handwriting.
Yep. You don't think it wasn't.
It was green ink, and it
Yep.
definitely did not look like his.
What did it say?
At that, I'm going to pull out the note that I got on the champagne.
They are
I
not
got
the
note
same.
too.
Yep. The one that you got on the champagne is not the same. It's not green ink, and it's not cursive.
I'll frown, but be a bit relieved.
Yep. Okay, so you got multiple successes on that Comtech.
Nice.
So, here's what you get. You notice the security footage has been set to loop at 1500 hours.
That's not good.
Set to loop, as in previous footage
Wait.
is just playing.
Yep, it's just looping rather than actually playing.
Or recording.
Yep.
We're not getting anything new. Look. Oh, look. There's it freeze frames here and then starts back over at 1500. They've stopped the footage. There's definitely something odd going here.
This was clearly planned.
Yep. At that time, around that time, we actually had 2 people come by to see Chief Randall. They were wearing these. They were just wearing black, and they had these little pins that had this sort of symbol on it.
This weird pin, does it look kind of a spirally kind of thing with the black and the whites?
Yeah, that's the one.
Well, those were the 2 guys down on deck too. They're wearing those kind. That's not like something that you guys wear as crewmates, is it?
No. I assume it's some sort of club or something like that. We get a lot of people bringing their local groups.
What was that church that Michelle told me about? The Church of Light?
Of Immaculate Incubation.
I say, have you heard of the Church of Immaculate Incubation?
I've only heard of them because they are on the retreat here on the ship. I don't really know much about them or what they really believe in, but
okay,
they seem nice enough.
Oh, I was actually, that's not what I was thinking. I was thinking about what Chad had told Michelle that he was like going to some ritual, I guess. I forgot what he...
Yeah. Yep.
It was something of the
So-
light or something like that, I thought.
Oh yeah, the night of what was it? I have it. Give me a second.
I'm sorry.
Yep, it's called the Night of Hope.
Night of Hope. That's what it was. Yeah, okay.
Yep. So
You said there was 2 individuals.
yep. Now
Do they any of them look like the guy that I previously saw?
they aren't on the camera.
Okay.
You'd have to ask the secretary.
Gotcha. I will just withhold that then.
Okay.
Well,
Also, in the evidence room, you hear over a radio that a disturbance was reported in Deck 4, Room 144, but they about 10 seconds later, another radio message comes in saying that it was a false alarm and to ignore it.
Can I actually see what like channel that radio is on and set my hand radio to the same channel?
Roll me Comtech.
Fuck. All right.
Hey, you got it.
All right, cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, now you're tuned into that radio station. You've reached 107.7 FM, the
Nice.
coolest alien RPG sounds.
Nice.
So, now that you guys have all gotten together, an announcement kind of echoes through the halls. We are now docking at our first destination, planetoid LV-288. Now you realize that it is your first opportunity for shore leave. And so
Sick.
before you're able to really explore any leads, you're going to have to get off the ship for a while and do some fun stuff. So
Can I go to the bathroom?
Yep. You want to go to the actual bathroom, or do you just want to piss yourself?
I need to go to the actual bathroom. IRL.
Oh, IRL. Yep, go ahead. I'm going
All
to
right.
do the same.
Okay.
Yep, so we'll just take a 5-minute break.
Okay.
So how's everybody enjoying this one so far?
It's been fun.
Yep, I'd like to apologize if it feels a little bit overly railroady. Part of it is just because of the way the story is set up. That's why I had you guys all start and get security and kind of recount the way you got here, because I just needed to be able to set up the rest of the acts properly. But subsequent acts are going to be much more open.
All right.
Okay. Yep, I'm just doing see. One more
I
thing.
hope chat's enjoying. Have a good night. Happy Saturday, y'all.
Me too. I hope everybody's enjoying this campaign so far. I put a lot of work into it, and like I was saying, just because of the way the story is set up, it's been a little bit kind of railroady, and I apologize for that. But
No, it's all right.
yeah, I hope you guys are still enjoying it.
Bao says you're grilling it, dog. He says, I remember last time we played, we all exploded.
Yeah, that was fun. That was really fun. Okay. So now you guys are you have shore leave opportunity. You have a bunch of activities that you can do. There's magma rafting, magma surfing, souvenir shopping, helicopter volcano tours. And you guys all know from the brochures that the food on this planet is cooked directly over the hot magma like a grill, but instead of using charcoal or coal, you've got directly over molten rock. And
Ambient heat. That's awesome.
Yep, and it's been described as giving it a unique barbecue flavor, as it's picked up some of the trace salts found in the molten rock, and it's exported for millions of dollars. It's basically how the planet is able to afford trade, is by
Essentially,
exporting the food.
it's essentially intergalactic, like A1 Wagyu from like Japan.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's creme de la creme.
Mm.
So, what do you guys want to do? You don't have to stay together for this. Like, you guys can all choose whatever activity you want to do.
I'm trying to go on a helicopter ride.
Okay. So, helicopter for Jack Sutton. Anyone else?
I just left those chicken wings cold, sitting in the microwave, so I'm starving now.
Yeah, so go get some barbecue.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
I got my dinner in my flask. I'll be fine.
Yep. My hope is that your character literally spends 0 hours of this entire campaign sober.
As soon as I'm stepping on the helicopter, I'm taking one of those 5 servings off my flask, so.
Yep. The helicopter door is open and you accidentally fall out. No, I'm kidding. Pick a replacement PC. Okay, what about everybody else?
I'm gonna do the least expensive thing, as I want to save my money.
Oh, they're all complimentary.
It's all inclusive with the cruise, dog.
Yep.
Definitely gonna go magma rafting then.
Okay.
God.
So 2 more people.
That sounds so dangerous. Magma rafting and magma surfing.
It sounds less dangerous than magma surfing.
Yeah, that sounds so fucking scary.
What are you talking about?
In the
water's
magma?
great. Yep. Hey, magma's still better than ligma.
Oh god.
Or heaven forbid, sugma.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, so we've got 2 more people who need to decide what they want to do.
Heard something about a helicopter tour.
Yep, there are tours flying over the volcanoes that are currently active. They're not like vertically explosive, but they're there are lava flows coming out of the craters.
I'll take the helicopter tour.
Okay, so you'll be with Jack. Then who's left?
Back, by the way.
Hmm?
Sorry, I was just saying I'm back.
Oh, great. Yeah, we're just talking about what activities everybody wants to do on the first shore leave. You're the...
I don't know if you heard the choices. There's magma surfing, magma rafting. There's a helicopter tour around some semi-active vents. And then there's also fucking amazing steak, apparently, that's grilled over the magma.
Yeah, it's not just steak, too. It's like all sorts of meats. You've got
all just
steak,
meats.
you've got pork. Yeah. I mean, they even have like they do have some vegetables just to add to like the flavor.
Yeah, of course.
You know how like, but yeah, it's primarily meats.
Okay. Is this like a group thing, or is this
So
like
it's
do whatever
food
you
to
want?
chow.
You guys are all allowed to do what you want. You can go together, but you don't have to.
Gotcha.
Who else was taking the helicopter ride besides Jack?
Esteban.
Okay.
Gina's getting the food.
Yep.
I think I would also take the helicopter ride.
Okay. So, you guys who are taking the helicopter ride, you guys are in a. It's not like a traditional helicopter because this planet is too hot, and the atmosphere is extremely thin. So it's basically a completely sealed helicopter. But they've got very special tinted glass that's like almost invisible, and they're flying over these volcanoes. You're flying at an incredibly high altitude, higher than any normal helicopter would, and you're just seeing these massive lava plains with beautiful kind of bubbling magma, and it's one of the most beautiful sights you've ever seen in your life. It's unbelievable.
I take a sip of my flask and then I offer it to the other two that are riding with me. You want any?
Oh no, no thanks. I'm taking in the landscape and the flora and the fauna.
Yeah, it sure is
Yep.
beautiful up here, isn't it?
Yep, you can see the sun. The glass of the helicopter has to kind of tint itself because the sun is 3 times larger in the sky than it would be if you were on Earth. You could even see
Fucking
the
hot.
roiling of the corona, the
You can
outer
see
layer,
the flares
the
and
magma
stuff.
line. Yeah. Yep, you can even see a few sunspots.
Jeez. That's a fucking big bright sun. Probably
Yeah.
hot as hell on this planet.
Yep, it's well over the boiling point of water. That's actually part of the reason why there's all so much lava, is because sometimes the surface temperature just gets so hot that the rock itself just melts.
Jesus.
Now, who was going magma rafting?
That would be me.
Okay, so you are getting in a line, and after about 15 minutes, it's your turn. You get into this sort of spherical chamber. It seems to be made out of some specially made metamaterials that are able to sustain incredibly high temperatures without without kind of breaking. And it's got a couple of paddles on the outside made of the same material, and they have little attachments that go inside the sphere. They tell you you'll be rowing these paddles to be able to navigate the lava flows. It's like whitewater rafting, but a lot more exotic and a lot more fun.
A lot hotter.
Just avoid any of the large rocks. You won't get hurt, but it will jostle you around a bit, and you might get sick. We will pick you up at the designated dock about a quarter of a mile down. Have fun. They kind of push you off from kind of the shore of this lava river, and now you're basically whitewater rafting on molten rock.
Is this sphere like the thing in
Nice.
Jurassic World?
Yeah, that was actually kind of the inspiration for the design. It's like, but it's got
Nice.
like 2 rafts on the outside so that you can kind of
Hamster wheel.
accelerate or brake or kind of slightly change your direction. So you're kind of rafting down. Make me a mobility roll.
Is it? 1 second.
Mobility
Gotta
should
reload
be.
my sheet.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Oof.
so, yep. You're coming up to kind of a little fall, and you didn't realize it was there until it's a little too late. And so there's a big judder as the raft kind of bumps up and down, and You fall right on your butt, and it's a little bit embarrassing, but luckily no one's around to see it. But other than that, you're totally fine. It's incredibly thrilling to be surrounded by molten rock, stuff that on contact would instantly vaporize your body, and yet you're basically rafting around in it. It's much more viscous than water, so you're going a bit slow, but it just lets you take in the beautiful volcanic scenery around you.
You're like,
And-
God damn, she thick, boy.
Yeah, exactly. The magma's cheeks are clapping. But yeah, it takes you about an hour or so
Nice hash.
to get through to get to the dock. And you get out, and you now have an opportunity to go to the barbecue, where Gigi is enjoying the best smoked meats that you've ever had in your entire life, and you've had access to primo stuff. Like there's an entire side of beef that's just roiling over magma, and it's just becoming perfectly prepared. And after a couple hours, the helicopter tour ends, and the rest of you also can arrive at the barbecue.
Can't wait for some meat.
Let me guess, you want wieners?
I want a steak.
Yep. They give you a 24-ounce steak.
God damn.
And the oldest whiskey you got.
It's aged 15 years.
Delicious.
Yep. What do the rest of you guys want?
I want the ribs.
Yep. They've got ribs of, it's not a cow, but it's similar meat. It's just a lot larger. It's like a portion that would feed a family of 6.
It's
and
like
you've
a
got it all to
super
yourself.
cow.
Yeah,
So you mean like Flintstone ribs?
Yeah.
Basically,
Yes.
yeah. And
Yeah.
It's a Brahma
Yep.
burger.
yeah, and,
There you go.
yeah, and they've got all sorts of sauces and spices that you've never had access to, but holy shit, they're amazing.
I'm not
All
feeling
right, I'm
meat,
digging
but
in
I'll
and I'm
have a
making a
salad.
mess.
What?
So I'm digging in and I'm making a mess.
Yeah. You're like just a ravenous Tasmanian devil, just flinging little little scraps of meat in every direction.
I was gonna say, since Quinn isn't there to keep me from overeating to watch my figure, I'm just pigging out on kebabs right now.
Okay, make me a mobility check to avoid stabbing yourself in the back of the throat. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, God.
That would be the meanest GM thing ever.
But like, you guys are all just like kind of shockingly disgusted
deep-
at how this like small little girl is just like shoveling away these kebabs.
I'm
Yeah,
smiling.
like she
and I say,
Yeah, like she deep
I'm
throats an entire
impressed.
one. Yeah, she deep throats the entire kebab and then pulls
Like
it out of her
cartoon
mouth and
style?
swallows it. Yeah, exactly. Or like swallowing a sword.
And I tie the metal skewer in a knot with my tongue.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
What
Well,
no,
I
was
mean,
it's
on this
that?
talent
planet,
with
it's
a tongue.
You realize that she's like almost young enough to be your daughter.
Oh, God. I hate myself even worse than I did before. Takes another drink from his flask. And then another shot from the whiskey that they served me.
What do the rest of
chill
you
out
guys
from
want?
Pretty soon I'm gonna end up treating you.
Treated me for what?
Alcohol poisoning.
Son, you have no idea what kind of week I've had.
I don't know how many drinks you've had, but I'm not a son.
Yeah,
Ma'am,
she's a woman.
I'm sorry. It's hard to tell with your voice.
Man.
That reminds me. At some point, I have to tell you guys the story of how my dad got punched by a lesbian at a gay bar. At some point, I will divulge that story to you.
End of stream story.
Okay. Okay, so there was one person who hadn't decided what they wanted to eat yet, I think. Because we've got steak, or no, two people. We got steak, ribs, kebabs.
I'm gonna have chicken.
Okay, yeah, so you've basically got an entire roast. Well, it's like broiled and roasted, and it's got like the skin's been prepared. Because of the magma, it's like absorbed all of the isolated salts that are locked into the rocks, and it's so good. It's hard to stop. Like, you're gonna be thinking about this meal for years. Okay, one more person.
Who hasn't ordered food?
Yep. Yeah, who are we waiting on?
Must be
It's
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Oh, I don't know if you heard me before, but I said that I wouldn't go for meat, but I'm more in the mood for a salad.
Okay, well, they have specially prepared like vegetables and salads that are kind of still roiled over and absorb the salts and minerals. It's just in a separate kind of salad bar section. So you grab some of that, and again, it is just blowing your mind. It's incredibly good.
What you don't realize, though, is that it's actually just meat that's been cut in the shape of vegetables.
Oh shit!
I'm just kidding.
Yep. But
It's
yeah,
the high-end Arby's of the future.
Everything is
Yeah.
meat.
yep. But
Even the drinks.
as you're on your way out, you notice a little shop that actually is selling the sauces and salts and spices that they use to prepare the meat. And if you wanted, you could buy some.
I want the
I'm
barbecue
gonna
sauce.
take a bottle of some marinade for kebabs.
Okay, it's gonna run you $10, and you note the warning label says "Do not get in eyes." This is said on all of the stuff, like spices and everything. Severe eye irritant.
I'll grab some of the salt.
Okay, that's gonna run you I'll say $5.
Okay.
And it's good for basically 10 uses, so to speak.
So do I
Is that
put
all?
kebab marinade in my inventory then?
That's gonna be again 10
Pocket
uses.
that like Napoleon Dynamite.
Yep. Yep. So anything you buy is going to be the marinade is $10. The salts and spices are $5 each. Each is good for 10 uses, or one use if you literally just drink it or just shove it in your mouth.
All right, I got the barbecue sauce.
Okay, great. Because now it is time to get back on the ship. You feel ready and prepared to begin your investigations in earnest. As passengers prepare to board, security is scanning them to ensure that no volatiles or dangerous materials are accidentally brought on board. When it's your turn, you walk up to the scanner as the man waves the scanning wand over you. That's when you notice it. As he raises his arm, his sleeve drops down enough for you to see a tattoo. The tattoo is of a kind of coiled serpent-like creature etched in black.
Does it
It's
look like the
same
logo of the Church of the Immaculate Incubation?
It is identical.
Okay.
You notice a a few of the same green ornate pens on a few of the other security and even just other crews, workers, maintenance. You see a few on the cleaning crews. Not everyone, but you see a fair number. It seems that you may not be able to trust everyone you meet. And with that, we're going to end today's session.
Boom!
Dun, dun.
Done.
And we haven't even learned that Gigi's got a green pen.
Nope, not yet.
It was Gigi. She's the aliens. Nice. Hell yeah.
Well,
Cool.
I hope you
That was
enjoyed
fucking
that.
awesome. Yeah, that was a lot
Sweet.
of fun.
Yep, and yeah, it was fun to kind of play around with some of the more role play stuff, letting you guys really talk around in character. There's going to be a lot more of that. There's going to be a lot more of the investigation. You guys working together. You're obviously going to have to be careful about who you trust.
Right.
Don't trust John Dees.
And Joe Bofa.
It's yeah, it was Joe Bofades.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Joe Bofades.
Yep, he also had a deathly allergic reaction to a certain type of food. So
He left behind his bag of pecans.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and on the label you find the ominous note: Bofades nuts. Well,
Well,
I'm gonna have to be.
GG's.
Yep, that was really fun. I hope you guys all enjoyed it, and I'm gonna be working hard to get the second act ready and up for next week.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that was a blast. I can't wait.
Really good job.
Yes,
Yeah,
you killed it.
and yeah, you guys all did really well too. I always enjoy playing a game with you guys, and hopefully this will be the start of me really getting back into GMing, because I really do enjoy it. And
It's fun.
maybe after the Halloween special, I'll run an actual full campaign.
Cool.
Yep, you guys will create your own characters this time.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where this is gonna take us next time.
True.
Oh yeah, it'll be fun.
He's the second.
I like
Yep.
the segmented intro where we all kind of have our own intro story.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did
cool.
too.
Yeah,
It was like a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah, that's actually where I got the inspiration.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Except there were less feet.
Less feet, and the timeline is still kind of in sync. It still makes sense a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like he's playing the end of the movie at the beginning of the movie.
True.
Yep.
True. He did play the part though where we were already in the security office at the beginning, so I guess we kind of did do a little time skipping, but that was cool.
Yep. I basically did that to make sure that you all got to that place, because otherwise it was going to be hell trying to. It was going to be like herding a bunch of cats trying to get. Come on.
Big true.
It's like,
Big true.
take the hint. What do you want to do now? I guess I want to go to the security office.
I just want to go drink more.
Is Gigi not
Roll
a
for
walker?
alcohol poisoning.
Oh shit. All right, guys, I'm gonna hop out of voice chat. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for letting me join you, Reptile Lover.
Yeah, thanks for
Thanks as
coming
well.
along. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Shout out to Protector of GM for
Oh yeah. Yeah, without him this wouldn't be possible. He's easily as much of the GM as I am.
hell yeah. All right, guys. Good night.
Good night.
All right, chat. I love you guys. We're gonna fucking raid a homie. He's a member of the Lunatics. I feel like it's been like a million years since he's fucking since he's streamed. He's playing some game that looks pretty kind of cool. It's called Lost in Random. Still, Thank you for hanging out. I love you. Bout. Exactly. I don't get alcohol poisoning because I get alcohol antidote. Cheese, thank you. I love you, dude. Protector of Jam. Huge pogs to you. Johnny. Jet. I love you guys. Anybody else that's still lurking? Y'all are amazing.
Excellent.
Yo, Coblin. Thank you for the follow and thank you for the Prime sub. And Sharkwave Media also, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. I can't wait for next week. Y'all have a good evening.